And we should be live. Oof. Welcome back, nerds and turds, to another live stream repair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we're gonna try to fix here. Both the wife and the kid are currently taking a nap, so we're gonna see how many we can cruise through before they wake up. Let's grab our first HomePod. This one, let's see here. Let's see, so we've got a Greg and or Chad here from Washington. They're not too far. So they say they have a Gen 1 HomePod that started popping many months ago. The HomePod was plugged in, not playing music, and would start popping or making fairly loud thuds. Blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like they just have some pretty severe popping, which is, of course, a symptom of DC offset, which is, of course, a result of bad filter caps on the amplifier. So let's get their name up here. And then, of course, let's shoot them in a link to the repair stream here, and then we'll get started. Alright, Chad has been notified. One last place we gotta go, over to Discord and let the nerds over there know. It's been a few days since we last had a stream, so I want to make sure they know. Let's go Discord. Yeah. Alright, everyone's been pinged. Let's get this opened up and fixed. Alright. First things first, of course, and as always, we will check our symptoms first. So let's plug it into power and take a listen. All right. Okay, so it is popping. It's not too severe. If it was one of mine personally that was popping that loud, I probably wouldn't bother taking it apart and fixing it quite yet. But we can still, nonetheless, we can replace those caps in there, and we should be able to make it a little quieter again. Now, generally, I just don't suggest bothering to replace these filters in your HomePod when it's popping and all it does is pop and it's not really that loud and there's no other issues, because there's just well, let's see. So what's happening is there is an amount of DC voltage that is getting through the amplifier before this audio signal is amplified and sent to your subwoofer speaker. DC voltage is not good for your subwoofer speaker or other components in the amplifier that aren't expecting to see it. When you have DC voltage being applied to a speaker, you can usually hear that pop sound. So more or less every single audio amplifier is going to have some amount of DC offset. It's next to impossible to get absolutely zero and forever keep it at 0 millivolts, which is what you really want, the closest to 0 millivolts possible. But it's not a perfect world, and of course electronic parts are far from that. So you have filters, or these filter capacitors here that are supposed to remove that DC voltage, but over time, naturally, they just lose their effectiveness at removing this DC voltage and actually eventually start causing the opposite effect of making the DC voltage even worse. So generally, all that said, the amount of DC voltage that the parts can tolerate is somewhere around 200 millivolts before you start needing to worry about components actually starting to get damaged. Anything less than that's really nothing to be concerned about. However, here on the channel, we go ahead and replace those filters when we see anything more than 50 millivolts, which is a little more aggressive than the 200 millivolts that the spec for the amp calls for. And the reason why I was saying that you don't normally need to worry about getting just the popping fixed unless you've got other issues like death farts, is, death farts are that sign that the DC offset has grown too much, and it is definitely to the point where it's causing issues. The death farts, or the loud buzzing sound followed by a restart, is the HomePod basically trying to say there's something wrong, I'm restarting now. That wrong being the too much DC voltage. So enough rambling. Let's go ahead and take this apart a little bit, and it'll be a little easier to show you guys exactly what we're talking about here as we get it apart and our test parts connected here. Alright, we got our top touch cover off. Let's move on to the display. Okay. There we go. Well, that just came right apart. We didn't even need to pry at it all the way around. How's our woofer looking? All right. Woofer looks great. We always want to check that, especially when we're dealing with unwanted DC voltage on our speaker there. But our subwoofer still looks to be in great condition. So here is the plan. Now that we've got access inside, we will hook up our test woofer here to the amplifier, which has a connection to our, oh, one sec. Connection to our multimeter there up on the screen. And we're just gonna check and see exactly how much DC offset we can actually see, just to make sure that we've even got enough to warrant replacing our filters here. And man, the top wasn't glued down at all, but this one's in there tight. Wow. it's not like my screws are still in. That sucker's just glued down. Wow. We don't need that anymore. Okay. So here, let's get our test woofer connected. Let's get a logic board on here and see what it's got for us. Like I was saying earlier, if it's got more than 50 millivolts, that's enough for us to warrant replacing those filters. If it's more than 200 millivolts, that's within damage territory, and upwards of 2 volts, 3 volts DC and above, that's definitely going to start causing death farts and serious damage. So let's see what this has. Oh boy. Yep, we are just passing that 200 millivolts there. So this is definitely got a case of some nasty DC offset. But it's a good thing they got it sent in to us when they did, before any harm happened to any of their parts here. So let's get it taken apart the rest of the way and we'll rectify this issue. Oh, let me go check this baby out really quick. Where's we fix some HomePods? Well, here we go. Let's see how long you last like that, little chump. Okay. Really grumpy girl. Is it a rude awakening? Seem to be doing all right now. Yeah. You excited? There's a lot going on in here. We're fixing HomePods. You got a bunch of stuff blinking over there. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time here. Alright, so first things first. Let's get up close. Hello? Hello? Why is my thingy not thinging? Okay. My stream deck is not decking the stream. I guess that's okay for now. We'll just stream deck Y. Wait. Yeah, now it works. Go figure. Alright, as I was saying, first thing we need to do is give this some new filters here so we get that DC voltage under 50 millivolts. Hey, what are you doing? You complaining? What do you got to complain about? What's going on? Yeah? Me too. I know. I can make funny noises too. Really? Oh, hi. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Jeff? Really? That sounds rough. All right. Fresh filters. While we're in here, we're going to give this a new Schottky barrier diode. That's the part that loves to fail and cause no power. Oh, that's the newest one that we've seen yet. 1802K. So we'll definitely have to add that to the list of ones that we've seen still working compared to the ones that we still see fail. What's going on? Okay. Wife's got the kid taken care of, I think. That should do it. Let's get this put together and tested. This is Nick. Hello. Good grief. I'm gonna fucking turn this phone off. I'm so sick of all this shit today. Oh. Hey, would you look at that? We almost missed something. Look at that nasty resistor. It's falling apart. Wow. That's gonna cause issues. Let's get the new one. Yikes. Okay. All right. I think I'm probably going to have to actually cut this one short, and we'll be back either later tonight or tomorrow. Sorry about that, folks, but got other things that come up, so...